Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Imani and I love all things planner and self-care related. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss new content. It's the end of the year and I'm super excited because that means it's time for new planners, new planner systems. So in this video, I'm actually going to do a couple things. We'll walk through my 2024 planner stack. We'll set up my personal planner for 2024, which will also include a plan with me. So stay tuned and let's get started. So before we do the plan with me and set up my personal planner for 2024, I wanted to walk through the planners that I will be using in the next year. I thought long and hard about this, and to be honest with you, I still don't think I'm settled, but I know that this is for sure the stack that I will start with. And if something is not working out for me or if I need to make a change, I will for sure swap it out. I'm not afraid to do that. I'm not afraid to just pick up a new planner and find something that meets my needs. But for now, this will be my personal planner. And by personal plans, I just mean like meetings, finances, everything outside of work and business/content. So as you can see, this is probably my most used planner. It has a schedule section, notes and lists, which I usually just keep to-do list or anything quarterly or monthly that I'm tracking will be in the notes and list section. You all know that I love taking notes while listening to podcasts or Instagram lives. So any of those notes that I take are also in that section. And finally is the finance section. So before we move on to the next planner, I will say, as far as the finance section is concerned, I only use a monthly layout to just map out the bills and the paychecks that I will receive that month. Otherwise, there's really no tracking that happens in the finance section. All of that is done digitally. So this is definitely my most used planner. It's something that I strive to look at every day or has at least the most to-do lists, at least in that area of my life. So next up on the list is a system that you probably have not seen me use on this channel. So this is what I intend to start using for my business and my content plans. So a lot of that, to be honest, is done digitally through Notion. And because it's like content and business related, I tend to not show it often, but I am gonna kind of walk through what I use each system for. So as I previously stated, I use Notion and here's my iPad to represent that. I use Notion to plan content and just like brainstorm ideas, right? But oftentimes when I'm in that deep work, I'll pull out this notebook so I can take notes. So let me try to find a page that I can show to kind of give you an example of what I use it for. Okay, so if you have been on my channel, you know that I tend to write pretty neatly and I take my time, but everything in this notebook that I'm about to show you is on the cuff. As it comes into my mind, I put it on paper. So here's an example of how I use my notebook for business related or content related things. This is actually me mapping out the different time frames or different pop-ups that I'll have in YouTube videos actually. So as I'm editing, I'll just take notes of, okay, this is, at 4 minutes and 40 seconds. And I wanted to put a little question box to kind of ask you all questions, as we walk through the plan with me or whatever video that was about. So this is definitely one of the uses that I have for this notebook and for business and content related things. And I'll also show you a little bit more of a neater layout. So this is kind of what I was thinking for December of 2023. Now this did not come to pass just due to kind of some personal things going on, but I decided to sit down and think about what do I want to do for December. So I wrote a few goals at the top, then I laid out a few items that I wanted to do throughout the month. So this is kind of what the notebook is for. It's free reign, right? It's to-do lists, it's brainstorming, it's, oh, I need to jot down some time frames in a YouTube video that I'm editing. So it's very on the cuff. And what I like about the layout is that it's just lines. So I can pretty much use it for anything that I want to use it for. So next up is still my business/content planner. I actually put this down back when I was moving out of or into my new apartment this year. I was really heavily leaning into the A5 size for business and content, and then life just got busy. And once I moved, I put it away, grabbed the notebook, and went on the cuff with that. But now that things have settled down a bit, I realized that I don't necessarily use the notebook for planning things out in advance. So, after brainstorming, I need space to plan things out in advance. So I use Notion sometimes, or a lot actually, but I also really liked tracking these different goals that I had or different outlooks that I wanted to track on paper as well. So I'll show you how I used it in 2023 and how I intend to use it in 2024. The issue is I don't have any inserts yet. So I'm still in the market for it. So if you have any suggestions, I want to try something new. So let me know what you think below. But let's go through July of 2023. So what I did was I set it up by schedule, notes and lists, and finances. Didn't really use the finance section for this because all of my business finances are tracked right in my bank account app. So that is not used. But I used the schedule section by breaking the months down by quarter. So as you can see, July, August, September was kind of the last time I used this. Didn't use it in the last quarter of the year. But if we go to July, you'll see how things are laid out. So I started with a monthly admin insert just to lay out the month, lay down a few things that I wanted to film. And then I tracked a few business goals on here. So I wanted to track, how many followers I had, some posting goals, and some income/money goals. After the business goals, we have a to-do list, and all of these tasks here are related to just business and just content. So it's not something that would be included in the personal planner because it is kind of a different topic. So that's how I was using this planner in 2023. And again, that's how I intend to use it for the next year. But let me know all of your recommendations below. If you have any planner insert companies that would have some social media or business-based inserts, I would love to try them out. So I know this sounds like a lot. Let me know how many planners you have in your stack for 2024. But for me, it's not a lot, right? Because I like to keep the different areas of my life separate. And in some instances, I'm required to keep it separate. And this next planner is a great example of that. So I am not in love with this cover. I think we got this in the October or November cloth and paper subscription box. I can't remember which month it is, to be honest with you. It's just not my favorite color. I think if it were black, I would like it a little bit more, but the gray to me just seems kind of like down, a little bit more cooler. I think I would prefer something a little bit more like black or white, something more neutral. And just not so sad, but it is what it is because it was part of the subscription box. So I'm gonna try it, and if I don't like it, I'll just take off the cover. But my work planner will be the Spiral A5 notebook from Cloth and Paper. So if you go back a few videos ago, I talked about how I got this planner in Portugal that I wanted to use for work. I actually already started using it. If you remember from that video, I showed the fact that the planner actually started in December of 2023. And unfortunately, the paper is a little too thin, and when I write on one page, there's some shadowing on the back page, so I don't think it's gonna work for that. But what I do use it for right now is to scribble notes during phone call conversations. So it's more like scrap paper to me now. Anytime I'm on the phone and need to take notes or have some takeaways, I'll write down a few takeaways in that planner/notebook, but at this point you might as well just call it a notebook, right? So I decided to use this for my work planner. So we've walked through this before, so I won't spend too much time on it, but this is the Spiral from Cloth and Paper. This year, something that's different are these tabs up at the top of the planner. I actually really like these. The monthly layout is different, it's longer, there's more space because there's not the lines with the space for notes and important dates. But otherwise, it's practically the same layout. This is exactly how the weeks are laid out during the current 2023 spiral. So I'm used to it. It works for me. So I know it's going to work for me in the next coming year as well. So the last planner or stationery item that's on my list is my iPad that is actually dead right now. But I use my iPad for a few things like I mentioned throughout the video so far. I use Notion for certain like content or business related goals. but I also use Notion for tracking my reading. So that's something that was new this year of 2023. Because my iPad is dead, I can't show you the tracker now, but I'll be sure to put like little screenshots on the video itself. I really loved tracking my reading this year. Some categories I tracked were genre, the date that I finished the book, obviously the title and the author. I rated books, and I also like to leave like little comments about the book so it can jog my memory about, you know, the topics, the characters, the twists, if any. That was a really fun way to do my reading tracking for 2023, and that's something that I'm continuing in 2024. So I'll be sure to share screenshots of my 2024 tracker as well. Mostly the same categories will be tracked. I did add a few new things too, so I'm really excited about that. So if you want to learn more about it, be sure to let me know in the comments below, because maybe I'll do a video about it going forward. So that is my planner stack for 2024. What was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planners technically, at least for right now, for the 3 different areas in my life: personal, business / content, and kind of like self-care, because I consider reading to be self-care. A lot of planners, but honestly it makes sense because I can't put, you know, personal stuff in my work planner, and I definitely can't put work stuff in my personal planner. So it at least makes sense to have 2 separate items, but then everything else is just personal preference. So what we're gonna do next is actually clean out my personal planner, and then we're gonna plan for 2024, which is so exciting. So off camera, I took out all of the inserts that I will be adding to the planner, and it's kind of sad. Sad in the way where it's like, okay, 2023 flew by. I remember bringing in the new year, like at the casino here in Buffalo, well, technically in Niagara Falls, and just having such a fun time and having all these dreams and plans and goals for the year. And the fact that it's over, I'm like, okay, time, please slow down. But I always like to reflect around this time of the year. It was a great year. I have nothing to complain about. It was tough, but I learned a lot of good things this year. So what we're gonna be adding into the planner is really just 3 things. That's the only thing that's changing. We're adding the year at a glance on vellum. Then we're adding the monthly inserts that will go in the finance section, and then the upcoming weekly inserts for January. So let's get started. So actually, before we add some of these inserts into the planner, I wanted to do a few things. These are the the monthly layout right here that I use for the finance section. So let's highlight my paychecks. Just grabbing beige over here. So I think my paycheck will be 13th and the 27th. So we have the 2 paychecks there. And then we have this layout, which I wanted to try highlighting the entire quote in just one section rather than splitting up. So if you watched a few videos ago, I tried to highlight the quote as the lines or each sentence appear in like different areas of the insert, but I want to try doing it all at once. So just have to find where it begins. And the first sentence is, if you want to have more. So I can't find a good spot. Okay, let's just do it down here. If you want, oops. Well, I started in the wrong spot. I started at the end of the quote, but that's okay. Okay, I think I almost like it better when I highlight the entire quote together rather than the separate lines. I don't know, let me know your thoughts. Do you like it better like this, or do you like it better when we kind of split things up and have the quote highlighted like this? Maybe what's throwing me off here is the fact that we used copper on the right. I definitely like using beige a little bit better, but I don't know, let me know your thoughts. Okay, so next up is the This Planner Belongs To page. I have to write small here. Y'all know my handwriting is just humongous. That's definitely the downside of it. So I'm gonna make sure it all fits. far as the month is concerned, not a lot going on that I think I need to track. So we'll start with the dates first, because that usually helps me to remember what's going on. Okay, so as far as the month is concerned, how do I want to do this? Okay. I know I want to highlight my days off, so maybe we'll grab gray over here and gray out the days that I'm off. I want to see if I can get another day off, but for now that's fine. Then I have a meeting on the 14th. My mom's birthday is the 30th. That might be it. I'm trying to plan a board dinner on a Saturday. I'm thinking it might be the 20th. Oh, I'm having brunch on the 21st. And other than that, that's all I can think about right now. So we'll still lay these out. 1, 14, 15, 21, and 30. Of course, something else is going to pop up and it won't be in order anymore, but at least it is now. Okay, that works for now. Oh, I forgot to write January. Even though it's like obvious what month it is, we still like to write it January 2024. Wild, absolutely wild. So as far as planning for my finances, I'll just show how I do that quickly. We have a payday on the 13th and on the 27th. So what I typically do is just write payday, here, and then I write out the paychecks for each payday. So what's really interesting is that obviously I got paid on the last Friday of December, so really like that paycheck pays for nearly everything in the first couple weeks of January. That's when like most of my bills are due. I do have a few that are due after the 13th. So Timber's like vet insurance bill is due, so we'll just write vet here. And then I have book of the month, which is a monthly subscription for books. If you're interested, I can definitely add a link to that below. And honestly, y'all, like that's it. Like I said, all my bills are like primarily due the first couple of weeks. Okay, so as far as planning for the first week of January, let me tell y'all something. This is why I love a Monday start, because look, our first page of the insert is Monday, January 1st. Love it, absolutely love it. This is gonna work really well for me. Now, I don't have anything planned because I haven't sat down and done my like final yearly kind of meditation, journaling, reflection period yet. It's Saturday, we still got Sunday. So I know that there are a few things I want to do throughout the week, but not a ton. So we have Monday the 1st off because that's New Year's Day. I go back to work on the 2nd. I have a dental appointment on the 4th, but to be honest with you, it's like right in the middle of the day. I might cancel that, or at least try to reschedule it, because I don't want to do it in the middle of the day. I'd rather get all my appointments done early in the morning. So what I'll do here is just write to do. I always feel like this time of the year is very chill and relaxed, right? It's not a lot going on. The holidays are over, at least like the standard, whatever that means, holidays in the United States. So it typically tends to be a little bit more low-key of a time. So I'm not surprised I don't have a lot to do. I feel like the plans for this week reflect the typical start of January because there is not a lot going on, and that's okay. I do have quite a few to-do things that I want to do, some self-care related things. I need to plan a dinner for the board that I sit on. I want to consider meeting with my wedding coordinator, or someone I'm considering to be the wedding coordinator, probably towards the end of the month. Finishing an application for a license I'm trying to get. I want to go to an event on Sunday if I can. So there are some things that could be done this week, but honestly, it's pretty chill. And I feel like that is the best way to start the year, with not a lot of plans. So you can really focus on your intentions for the year. So I'm excited about this. Well, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know below what's in your planner stack, whether you're doing something similar or different. I would love to chat about it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.